Scotty Elcon with Silly Film News here at the Dallas International Film Festival. We're here with the filmmaker behind Hero. Brett, you want to introduce yourself?
Yeah, I'm Brett Haley. I was the co-writer and director of The Hero, which is playing tonight at the Dallas International Film Festival. I'm really excited to be here.
Welcome back, by the way.
Yes, thank you.
Maybe, hopefully, it can come a theme where you always bring your films here.
Yeah, I think so. I mean, as long as James will have me, I'll come.
And maybe Sam will be in everything. It seems like you love Sam.
Who doesn't love Sam? And if you don't love Sam, I think there's something wrong with you. Yeah, he was in my last film, I'll See You in My Dreams, and I sort of fell in love with him working on that film, and a lot of people kept coming up to me and saying, I wish there was more Sam Elliott in this movie. And I said, well, then I'll give you 90 minutes of Sam Elliott. He'll be the whole movie. So I wrote it specifically, Mark Bash and I wrote it specifically for Sam, and kind of based on our friendship and some conversations that Sam and I have had over the time, some of the experiences he's gone through in this industry, because the film is about a washed-up actor, which Sam Elliott is not a washed-up actor, but we took some things from Sam's life and we kind of sprinkled it over a new story that we created for him.
So did the writing process start while you guys were either, maybe not filming the last one, but maybe in the film festival circuit, or was it after that?
We had been thinking of the idea, I think, during the circuit. Like, when I was out on tour with Sam, Mark and I kept talking, like, we want to write something for Sam. And The Hero came about originally as a TV series idea. We thought it'd be fun to see Sam as, like, kind of a washed-up stoner, guy living in Malibu or Topanga Canyon, like, wasting away his days, and we do kind of like a fun, 6-episode type of thing or something like that. So we had all these ideas, like, oh, he's got a best friend who was in a show called Cattle Drive with him, but it's his drug dealer now, and very LA, and he's got an ex-wife who's like a photographer, and he's got a weird disconnected relationship with his daughter, and how all this stuff starts kind of, churning. And so we had all these ideas and things, and when eventually we for a lot of reasons we couldn't do a TV show with Sam, and people kept saying to me, well, why don't you just make it a movie? And I was like, I don't know. I haven't really thought about it that way. But then Mark and I kind of sat down and went through our ideas. We were like, yeah, this could totally work as a movie. In fact, it's better as a movie. So we just kind of attacked it. We had all the ideas kind of ready. So the writing happened pretty quickly, and Sam read it and his team read it, and they were like, we're on board. And then this amazing cast kind of gravitated around Sam, and here we are.
Let's talk about that cast. Maybe start with getting Catherine on board, and starting that, and maybe going the younger, all the way to Kristen.
Sure. I mean, I wrote the part obviously for Sam, and then I wrote that part for Catherine. And people don't know this. Some people know this, but Catherine Ross, you maybe heard of a couple of movies she's been in. Butch Cassidy and the Sundance Kid, The Graduate, whatever. She's an icon in her own right, and she's married to Sam in real life, and I became friends with her as well. By being close to Sam. So they're like family to me, and I said, I'm going to write you this part that I think is really fun and really different for you. So I wrote that role for her. So she's in the film, and she plays Sam's ex-wife. So there's a lot of cool history between them in the film that you can't fake it. It's like, it's all there. And then through that, I then reached out to Nick Offerman, who had worked with Sam on Parks and Rec as Other Ron. And Sam and Nick are really close in real life. So I said, hey, I'm making this like kind of love letter to Sam Elliott. I know you love Sam. Would you come kind of support him in this? And Nick was so excited, and just like any excuse to sit across from Sam Elliott and act with him, I'm in. So Nick came on board, and then Laura Prepon and Kristen Ritter came in solely based on the script and the fact that they love Sam Elliott. So Sam was sort of like this gravitational pull for talent. And everybody just came together, and I just call it an embarrassment of riches. My cast is wonderful, but my last film too. I've just gotten really lucky, and I'm really honored that these really talented, lovely, and famous, beautiful people are in my movies. It's pretty cool.
Can you talk about where you guys got to shoot and the look of the film? Because I think it bleeds into. We were just talking about the poster. It bleeds into this feeling of maybe Sam of now and where he is now, but it's nostalgic even.
It is. Yeah, well, we we wanted to play on that idea that this character Lee Hayden, who's known for one film called The Hero, kind of like if Clint Eastwood had only made, the Man with No Name trilogy and then never did anything else, and people would see him and say, "You're the man with no name," and that'd be it. And I think there's a lot of actors that go through that, and I've met some actors like that. They're like, I did this thing and I'm really grateful to it. I think Nick could probably speak on this. He's Ron Swanson to most people. I'm like, he's Ron Swanson. He's also Nick Offerman. He's also this incredibly gifted actor that can do anything. He's the most versatile actor you'll ever meet. That's why he could be Ron Swanson so, convincingly. So I think that actors get stuck in this box. And we wanted to kind of have our cake and eat it too. We all know Sam Elliott as a Western icon. And obviously Lee Hayden, the character he plays in The Hero, is also a Western icon, but one that only did the one hit. Sam's got, hit after hit. He's iconic in so many roles. So we wanted to play into that, and we do some sequences in the film that are dream sequences, for lack of a better word, in which he is haunted by the character of the hero. But he also loves that character. He is nothing without that character, at least to him. And he comes to realize that there's a lot more to life than being, an actor or being famous or what have you. So we got to play with some sequences that had some very Sergio Leone. I got to be a little cheesy, do some of the Western tropes because it's a dream, because it's kind of like a mix of, was this a scene from The Hero? We play with that. And that was really fun. I basically got to shoot a Western with Sam Elliott one day on my weird indie movie. We were just doing these indie scenes, and then one day it was we're shooting a Western today, and it was pretty amazing. The guns and the outfits and the whole thing was really fun. And then the rest of the film is very kind of, very straightforward, but most of the film is handheld, but a very subtle handheld, so that it feels kind of present, that you're there. It's a subjective film. I want you to kind of get into the shoes of Sam, to his character. It's from his point of view, for sure. So, we went for this kind of stylistic, a lot of close-ups, a lot of, following shots, handheld. And so the two looks kind of, they complement each other, I think. They're separate. And we shot the majority of the film in Topanga Canyon, which I didn't really know that well. I live in Brooklyn, and I know LA. I go there a lot for work. I shot my last film there. And we had originally written it for Malibu, but Malibu is really difficult to shoot in. It's very expensive, and I was like, there's already so much water scenes in this movie. There's a lot of waves in my film and beach stuff. So we went with Topanga Canyon, which is amazing. It's beautiful up there, and we found this amazing house with the vistas, and it's pretty incredible that that's LA County. It's pretty weird.
So I've got to ask, looking back at your last film, being able to highlight veteran actresses in particular, to me that when they get stone scene and they go get food and they interact, was one of the funniest things I saw all of that year. But being able to highlight veteran actors in an industry where they almost are pushed out once they hit a certain age, that's got to feel special, but it's also got to be fun because you are getting to let Sam and Catherine play together. You Miss Danner was incredible in the last film. That's got to be really cool to allow them to step back into what they obviously know so well.
Yeah, it is. And it's sort of a real privilege to be working with people who've been doing this longer than I've been alive. And to have that sort of relationship with them where they respect me, and I'm going, I can't believe how lucky I am to be working with Blythe Danner or with June Squibb or Rhea Perlman or Mary Kay Place or Sam Elliott, Catherine Ross. These people are icons, and they've been doing this a very long time. And of course there's an intimidation factor there for me personally, just as a director, as a young director. But you just kind of go forward and you work with it, and you kind of, I say you fake it till you make it, and then you're there. But I think it's very important that the industry's catching on. They're getting it, but I think they're doing it in a way that's a bit cheap. They're kind of let's put some older actors in a movie because older people like to go to the movies. They're one of the only surefire bets to go to see it. But they're a very picky audience. If they don't like something, if something's not good, they're not going to tell their friends. It's not going to get that word of mouth that I'll see in My Dreams got. And I think that there is just there's a general ageism in Hollywood, but there's certainly ageism in the world, in humanity. We're very tough on old people. We sort of push them aside. I mean, not only does the industry do that, but we do that as a society. We say, okay, we don't know what to do with you now. You're old, and let me just put you over here. And we don't allow, I think, older people to. We don't like to depict them experiencing things that maybe young people do, but they do. Older people are falling in love, and they're having sex, and they're doing drugs, and they're living life. They're not dead yet, is what I always say, and it's like they're lucky to be that. We should all be so lucky to be able to live a full and complete life and get up in years, and I think that I like to shine a light on that. And it just so happens that my last film happened to be about an older woman, and I wrote this movie for Sam, and he happens to be an older man. I'm not looking at it as films about older people, or that's the kind of reason I'm making them. They just happen to be of a certain age. They're just people, just like everybody else, and I treat them just like any character. Obviously there is that history and that sort of looking back on one's life and the experience and the heartbreak that one is, if you've lived for 30 years or you've lived for 70 years, that 40 years you've probably gone through some stuff.
Yeah.
So I like that. I like that element with a character. There's a lot more to work with because there's so much more history. So I find it really, fascinating. I always try to, even the new film I'm working on, which is about a father and a daughter, and they're still older characters in the film, because I think it's really important to see that generational thing, because we all got, if we're lucky, we have parents, we have grandparents, and they're around, and they're an important part of our lives.
Well, keep doing it, because you're connecting, and I think the last movie, it's obvious it connected with a lot of people, and it had a wonderful surge of people getting to see it, and I think it started maybe with the film festival circuit.
It did. I believe in the film festival circuit very much. I wouldn't, be in Dallas for 2 days and then Winston-Salem for a day and Madison for a day. It takes a lot out of you, but I wouldn't have it any other way, because what you're doing is you're bringing the film directly to people who love movies. And I believe that word of mouth, if you make something that people really connect with, as you said, I think that's the best way to describe my films. Hopefully as things that people truly connect with. Not they're entertained, they're moved, but they connect. They go like, I've been through that, or I've seen that. And I think that it's crucial to go to these great film festivals where there are great audiences. People are so excited to see the film. Dallas has amazing crowds. And you get that first drop of people saying, oh, I saw this film at the Dallas International Film Festival. The director was there. I loved it. You should go see it. That's really important. Word of mouth is more important than anything when it comes to independent films, because that's what drives ticket sales. And the only way that independent film is going to survive in the studio world of Marvel and Disney and Star Wars, which I like all of that stuff, and I'm glad it exists, but I think we need both. They can't just be one. They can't just be, big movie after big movie after big movie. I think people want something else too to go to. So the more that people go to the cinema to see it, the more chance we have to make these films and get them out to people, and hopefully there's more of that, that connection happening.
I asked James, I was like, what's the phone call like when you get to call like Brett again and you get to say, hey, can we bring you back? And he wouldn't tell me. He's like, no, that's my personal thing with the filmmakers.
Sure.
Could you share what it's like to hear back from a festival? Maybe not just DIFF, but you're repeating a few festivals now.
Yeah, I was lucky enough to get I'll See You in My Dreams and The Hero into Sundance. Mm-hmm. That call is a big call. When you hear John Cooper and Trevor Groth on the other line, you're like, okay, here we go. And that that just means your movie is suddenly real. That you're now okay. Now I gotta go share this movie with the world. I hope they like it. That's a big call. And then of course everything after that. You would hate to like make a film, play Dallas, play Cleveland, play all these great little regional festivals that I love so much, and then they say, yeah, we saw the new one, Brett, but no thanks, we're good. That would hurt my feelings, and I'd be like, oh man, did I miss something? So when you get the call from James or you get the call from these other festivals, it's a wonderful sort of acknowledgement that they're like, hey, you're still doing good work. we're it's a quality control thing. It's like a check mark, and if you get all those checks, you're like, maybe I got something here. As a filmmaker, I'm never the guy that's like, oh, it's brilliant, and wait till you see it. I just made what I made from my heart, from my gut. I was in it as an artist. You have no idea, truly, how audiences are going to react, how critics are going to react, if you're going to get into festivals. There's no way to know. And it's a wonderful sort of reinforcement of what I'm doing and the work that my whole team puts into these films for not much money. In fact, no money, to have this kind of response. So to get these kind of check marks from the different festivals is wonderful, and I wouldn't have it any other way. And I go to all of them, and I'll always come to Dallas. I'll always come to the festivals that have welcomed me previously. I'm a loyal person.
Well, we definitely love you here in Dallas. We love the film, so I can't wait for people to see Hero. And thanks again for coming back, Brett. It was a pleasure.
Yeah, thanks for having me. I appreciate it. Yeah.